Good morning. This meeting of the Blair County Board of Commissioners is called to order. We'll begin with a moment of silent reflection, after which we'll stand for the Pledge of Allegiance to the flag. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Before we have anyone joining us by phone or otherwise.
Does not appear to be. If there's anyone joining us remotely, if you could please state your name for the minutes. Not hearing anyone else, sir. That is roll.
Okay, thank you.
Recording has started.
You'll notice under item 5, the schedule of upcoming meetings. Under item 6, commissioners received drafts for the board minutes from August 1st and August 3rd meetings. Is there a motion to approve those minutes?
Commissioner Webster, I'll make the motion.
Thank you. Is there a second?
Second.
Those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Aye. They are approved, and we'll open the meeting at this time to any public comment. We'll move on then to item 8, commissioner comments. Commissioner Webster.
Thank you. I'm happy to announce, and some of you have maybe already heard about this, that the 2028 County Commissioners Association of Pennsylvania will be having their conference here, which is wonderful. It should bring about 500 people to the area. Hopefully, some have never seen the area, and they'll get to enjoy some new things, maybe come back and visit us again. The commissioners do tend to bring their families along, so there should be people that are out and about visiting our restaurants and activity places, and maybe the Fort and the Del Grosso's, who knows. So I'm just looking forward to that, and I'm encouraging people to, think of any ideas you might have and let us know. Thank you, everybody, for thinking about that.
Thank you, Commissioner Webster. Commissioner Burke.
Thank you. I wanted to share an opportunity for 10th through 12th grade students to become young ambassadors through Pennsylvania Department of Transportation and Keep Pennsylvania Beautiful. This is a program that will run from October 2023 through May 2024, and the chosen candidates will represent and uphold the mission and values of Keep Pennsylvania Beautiful, which includes becoming community stewards and civic leaders by inspiring, engaging, and empowering young Pennsylvanians to not only keep their communities clean and beautiful, but also be ambassadors for a shared vision of a clean and beautiful Pennsylvania. So applications are being accepted through September 14th and can be found on keeppabeautiful.org.
Thank you, Commissioner Burke. We've mentioned often here how fortunate the county is to have good working partnerships with other agencies and governmental units, and I'm pleased to announce that 2 of our particularly good partners have been the Southern Alleghenies Planning and Development Commission, in this case specifically the Workforce Development Board, as well as Goodwill of the Southern Alleghenies. Recently, the Workforce Development Board applied for and received from the Department of Labor and Industry a youth reentry grant. This is aimed essentially for helping those in the criminal justice system between the ages of 18 and 24 who have been incarcerated or subjected to the criminal justice system in a career pathway leading to post-secondary education, advanced training, and or meaningful work. In this particular case, the Workforce Board was the applicant, but the Goodwill of Southern Alleghenies is the sub-grantee and will be handling this. And they have been such an active partner with us, Goodwill, in so many things, in reentry grants before for things, and for a lot of things at the prison and the criminal justice system. So we appreciate the partnership and look forward. The assigned individual from Goodwill is Katie Urban, and she will be reaching out as plans get together to APO as well as the Reentry Coalition and other organizations serving these group who could potentially benefit from the program. We will move on then and ask Nicole to take us through the consent agenda.
Thank you. Today's consent agenda is resolution number 378 of 2023. That includes the payment of the 4 warrantless as outlined in item A. That does include a payment to the following Thomas and Chandra Giandora in the amount of $1,550. Ratification of 12 warrantless as outlined in item B. Ratification of total payroll for the check dated August 11th, 2023 in the total amount of $885,995.96. Its budget transfers in items D, E, F, G, and H. It's an ECMS submission for Bridge 70 over County Road 101. Invoice 8, that would be final design, was payable to Keller Engineers in the total amount of $3,438.18. Those are 100% reimbursable through the Roadmap Fund. Employments, at 1 offer rescinded, a status change, terminations, resignations, and retirements outlined in J, K, L, M, N, and O, respectively.
Thank you, Nicole. Is there a motion to approve the consent agenda?
Commissioner Webster, I'll make the motion.
Thank you. Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Aye.
I am an aye with an abstention to the payment to Thomas and Chandra Giandora.
The consent agenda is approved with the abstention as noted, and we'll begin now through staff reports and special business and start with Valley View Amphitheater Project and Joe Keller from Park and Rec Board. Good morning.
Good morning. So we have 3 items for the Valley View Park Amphitheater Project. Requesting approval of change order number 1 from John Clark Excavating, total amount of $1,420.48. That was for some pavement repair at the beginning of the parking lot. It was in poor condition and it got busted up, and I think Clark paid for 1/3 of it and the county's share was 2/3. And they're also requesting a 9-day time extension from August 9th to August 18th due to a delay in the band shell installation. And the band shell, that was actually awarded last August, and they cooperated very well with giving us several extensions and stored it. So they just got held up there, so they're requesting a 9-day extension on that. The second item is change order number 1 from Stelco. It's just a no-cost change order extending the time from August 9th to August 18th, again due to the delay in the band shell installation. And the third item is requesting approval of certificate of application and certificate payment number 2 for Stelco in the amount of $22,590.67 for contract 2.
Are there any questions for Mr. Keller on those 3 items?
No question.
Move that on to Thursday's agenda.
Thank you.
And the Valley View Park soccer fields, Melissa Harpster.
Good morning. Requesting approval of a request received from Great Commission School and AYSO for the Great Commission's school to use the soccer field to conduct their school games from 3 p.m. to game end times on August the 24th and 29th, September 5th, 7th, 8th, 12th, 19th, and October 2nd. And also we did receive their certificate of insurance and the endorsement and everything that's okay with that.
I believe Great Commission has done this in past years.
Yes, I believe last year was the first year.
Questions from Melissa? Ms. Moulton, you got the business agenda as well. And move on to item C for social services, and Melissa Gordon is here from Southern Allegheny Service Management Group. Good morning again, Melissa.
Good morning. Hi. We are requesting 3 purchase of service agreements and HIPAA business associate agreements for Dr. Hazlett, Dr. Spade, and Dr. Petrowski. That will be from July 1st through June 30th.
Questions, and these are again people who you've used in the past.
No,
How did-
Dr. Petrowski is a renewal.
Yeah, I knew Dr. Petrowski was on before. The other 2 are not.
No, they are new.
Okay.
We have state mandated assessments that have to be completed. And there we have had a very huge increase in the amount of assessments that we need. So we had to look elsewhere for other assessors. So we did obtain Hazlett and Spade to do some assessments for us. And the only cost that it would that we would have would be if MA didn't cover it, then we would cover the cost of the assessment, and it would be with our allocated block grant funds. Yes.
Thank you. Any questions for Melissa? Thank you. Item D, drug and alcohol. Judy Rosser. Morning, Judy.
Good morning, Commissioners. Thank you for the time to be on your agenda. This is to implement or accept the grant that was approved by the Commissioners probably about back in May for the IP grant, which is funds our special courts. So they have finished their process, and this is actually accepting that award now. Yeah, that's $315,000.
We appreciate you submitting that for us. Any questions for Judy?
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Item E, Coroner's Office, and we're joined by our Chief Deputy Coroner, Ray Batten.
Good morning, Commissioners. I'm here today to request approval of a solicitor's contract by the county and with Caitlin Hoover for legal matters that may she could present, let me try this again, that she would present to the coroner's office at an hourly rate of $125 an hour, paralegals at $80 an hour, and any other staff members at $60 an hour for the period of August 1 through July 31st.
Any questions for Deputy Coroner?
Thank you for your time.
Today's meeting as well. Thank you. Item F from Court Administration.
Laura, are you, or do you want me to?
I could do that.
Thank you.
The first request is, well, do you want them separate or together?
I
There's
think
some
they're separate resolutions,
Okay.
but however, yeah, they're about the same.
Well, yeah, these are, okay. The first is a request to approve an agreement for Spanish interpretation services between County of Blair on behalf of Court Administration and Anna Lahr, who is a state court, certified state court interpreter, and then her rates are noted there. And the second is also for Spanish interpretation services, this time with Carmen Arenas, and her rates are also noted there. This will give Court Administration 2 additional options in the event that the one we just approved, I think, a month or 2 ago, is not available.
Any questions for Commissioner Burke? Okay, move on then to item G for the Sheriff's Office and Lieutenant Allwine. Morning, Lieutenant.
Morning, Commissioners. Everybody else. So I'm here requesting approval of a memorandum of understanding to work in conjunction with the City of Altoona. As in past practice, we have had an MOU and they apply for the JAG grant yearly. This year, the total amount would be $26,355 if awarded. And of that, the Sheriff's Office would be allocated $5,355 that we could use for much needed equipment with grant funding. That's it. Thank you for your time.
Any questions for Lieutenant?
Thank you.
Thanks much. Moving right along, under item H, from the prison, Deputy Warden Jay Weitzel. Good morning, Deputy Warden.
Good morning. Good morning, all. First request is requesting approval of a proposal received from Schultz Company in a total of $1,952 for labor and materials to replace the control board assembly and the membrane switch on the prison's Hobart dish machine. The machine's not currently working because of the membrane switch that needs replaced.
This machine gets used relatively hard.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
That's an understatement. Any questions for Deputy Warden like to line out?
Is this a matter that should have attention faster than Thursday, or what do you think, Jay?
It would probably help. Yes.
In that case, is there a motion to approve the request?
Mr. Webster, I'll make a motion that we approve the proposal from Schultz Company to replace and repair the dish machine.
Is there a second?
Second?
Is there any other discussion? If in favor of the motion, please signify by saying aye.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Number 2 is a request to approval for a proposal received from Allegheny Glass and Mirror in the total amount $210 for material and replacement of the laminated glass for the prison's K-block entryway. It was smashed by an inmate a while back, and it's not out, but it is smashed and needs replaced. That one can wait. It's not an emergency.
On that?
I think the only question I have is, I thought we had an outstanding contract. I shouldn't say outstanding because that sounds horrible, but a standing contract with Allegheny Glass that would have covered these.
I'll have to check on that when I go back.
Okay. We can look too in Eunice maybe when we get back from the meeting and see. I thought I remembered. Now, we've been doing a lot of maintenance contracts that go for a year, but I thought I remembered one from Allegheny Glass. And if that's the case, then we'll just remove this for the meeting on Thursday, but we'll do some research on our end.
I can check as soon as I go back tomorrow.
Yeah, sounds good. Thanks, Jay.
And the third one, I need to apologize to everybody. I really messed up the bids for the food orders. I didn't get prior approval. I contacted Lindsay back in May or June, about the dates that I needed to put the bid out, and I never came across any on my own part where I needed to get your approval to put the bids out. So the bids went out, the bids are in, and we're requesting now that the bids be rejected and that they be rebid with your approval to rebid for food items and non-food items, with sincere apologies.
Yeah, and Jay, with my vacations in the last 3 weeks, I wasn't able to catch this either until just yesterday when I walked in the door and we were talking about it. I said, I don't remember that ever going to the commissioners to request for bidding. One of the pieces of the county code that I'll read you, there's a lot before it, but it basically says that contracts or purchases in excess of the base amount, which this would be, and I'll skip ahead, shall be made except with and from the lowest responsible bidder, submitting a bid in conformity with the specifications approved by the Board of Commissioners for the contract or purchase. So that piece of the county code was not met by not coming to you and requesting advertising. We also realized in our office, as we were talking about this, that perhaps that shouldn't be a request for advertising, but a request to approve the bid specifications, because that's actually what is meeting county code. When you approve the advertisement to go out, you always see the bid specs, or they're laying somewhere in our office if they're a bridge or something to that effect. They're large. You've had access to them. So in essence, we're not really requesting to advertise, but the county code approval is that you're approving the bid specification. So we will look at that for future meetings. This was definitely an experience that Jeff and I have bonded over in the last 24 hours. Same with Finance Director Lindsay and also Assistant County Administrator Allison. So just a little bit of, it was a good learning experience. Unfortunately, it's going to be an expensive one because the mere ad for that was $900 and some. So we will have to re-advertise that. We will be adjusting the agenda on Thursday to we should take action to reject today because we did have some formal action. So the rejecting today, but then on Thursday, we will put on there that we are going to ask for re-advertisement and then also approval of the bid specifications to be able to put that back out again. So apologies all around. And Jay, it's not 100% on you because I wasn't able to follow this along either as closely as I should have been.
So for Thursday's meeting, do I need to submit anything?
We'll take care of it on our end,
All right.
Jay. Yeah,
Thank you.
no worries. Yep. And you don't even have to come. That's an
All right.
administrative matter that we'll take care of. Yeah, no problem.
Okay, is there any more discussion before we ask for a motion to reject those bids?
Wonder if the mayor would give us a 2-for-1 price or something.
Good luck with that.
I think that's about the pay grade.
Yeah. He's got to take that upstairs.
I'm just kidding.
All right.
Then I would make a motion that we reject the bids or the bids, the bids.
Well, I mean, they were bids, so they just
Yeah.
weren't in conformity of the county code.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any other discussion? Those in favor of the motion, please signify by saying aye. Aye. It's approved. Thank you very much.
Again, I
Thank you,
apologize.
Jay. Take care.
Okay, item I, CYF. Hostler, good morning. Hey.
Good morning, everybody. All right. Do you want me to, we have quite a few. Should I just continue reading until you stop me?
Yeah, I don't think we have a problem with that.
Okay.
We'll stop you if we need to.
Okay. First, we're requesting approval of the fiscal year 20 through 21 agreement for payment of legal services for Gerald Nelson Esquire, guardian ad litem for the children or court-appointed additional counsel for a child by order of court at the rate of $65 an hour for the period of July 1st, 20 through June 2021. We're also requesting approval of the fiscal year 21-22 agreement of the payment of legal services for Gerald Nelson Esquire for guardian ad litem. Is that the same thing?
It is, but it isn't. So we had this discussion if we could combine them, but we can't because the prices were different
Okay.
between the two contracts. So
Gotcha.
yeah.
So the following year for 21 through 22, it's 85 an hour instead of 65 an hour. The next one is we're requesting approval of the fiscal year 23-24 agreement for payment of legal services for the law offices of Lucas A. Kelleher, LLC, for guardian ad litem for the court for a child or court-appointed additional counsel for a child by one of the orders of court at the monthly installment amount of $2,100 and a fee of $200 for the preparation of a power of attorney for the period of July 1st, 23 through June 30th, 2024. Next, we're requesting approval of the fiscal year 23-24 purchase of service agreement and the business associate agreement between the County of Blair on behalf of Blair County Children and Families and Evolution Counseling Services, LLC, for July 1st, 23 through June 30th, 2024. We're also requesting approval of the fiscal year 2021 and 21-22 purchase of service agreements and the business associate agreements between Blair County on behalf of Blair County Children, Youth and Families and Project Point of Light for July 1st, 2020 through June 30th, 2022. Okay, we're requesting approval of the Child Accounting and Profile System Application Provider Service Agreement between the County of Blair on behalf of Blair County Children, Youth and Families and Evenco International in the amount of $40,619.73 for the case management software system for July 1st, 23 through June 30th, 24.
And here we are kind of switching, well, I guess it is an annual contract, but here it's not a provider. This is a different kind of provider.
Correct, yeah. The next two are for the same, for our CAP system through Evenco. The next one is requesting approval of consulting services addendum to the Child Accounting and Profile Systems Application Provider Agreement dated July 1st, 23 for Evenco International for consultant time invoiced at the hourly rate listed below. And the last one is requesting approval of the HIPAA Business Associate Agreement addendum for Evenco International as well for the Child Accounting and Profile Systems Application Service for the period of July 1st, 23 through June 30, 2024. All good? Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Item J, victim witness. It's been settled. Morning, Allison.
Good morning, everyone. We are requesting the approval for a payment of an invoice we received from Krogan Pressbox in the amount of $270.81 for printing 500 trifold brochures for our victim witness office, and this would be fully covered by grant funds.
Is it specific to the grant funds? Is it VOCA or RASA, or is it split between the two?
It is VOCA.
VOCA,
Yes.
thank you.
Yep.
Other questions for Mindy? For Allison?
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Allison. Okay, item K, Human Resources. Catherine Swanford.
Hello.
Good morning.
So I am here to request approval of what will be a countywide agreement between county and Dr. Grace Falla for the work that she has had me come to you separately before, and we begin to notice, and she's willing as well to have it just sort of be a standing availability for the kind of work that she does, so that she and I aren't having to do individual agreements every single time. So the pricing remains the same. The only thing that she's charging us for would be $500 per 3-hour segment. If she ends up doing something that's less than that, then it needs to be divisible by 3, just for ease of math. She'll provide an invoice at the end, same as she always has. If we're making any sort of agreement for her work, that's going to be in writing between her and me.
Seems to streamline the process.
Yes.
It does.
And she has certainly served the county well over the years.
Absolutely.
Served me well while I was pre-county too, so I'm happy that she is still in the game.
Any other questions for Catherine?
Thank you.
And lastly, item L, and back to the 2023 sale of county-owned assets.
Yep, so for today, just to bring it full circle, I am requesting approval for the award or rejection of the following bids received for the 2023 sale of county-owned assets. And before you guys do that, I just wanted to note that the first bid there from Barbara Minelli for lot number 1 was withdrawn. She just sent me an email and withdrew her bid, so just wanted to make a note. So then the rest of those were the highest bidders and were successful.
We want to take action on this today. Are there any other questions for Allison?
Just ask that you reject the filing cabinet bid from Ms. Manelli and accept the remainder of the bids. So if that could be your motion, please.
I'll go ahead and make the motion then that we reject Ms. Manelli's bid and accept the other bids as outlined on the agenda for the sale of county-owned assets. Is there a second?
I second, but I believe we're awarding as opposed to accepting. Right?
Excuse me.
Oh,
Yes, we are. Thank
Mhm.
you. We're not rejecting.
Good catch. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Is there any other discussion? All right. Those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
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 And I would abstain due to a family relationship.
All right. That is approved. Thank you, Allison. We have no old business at this time, and we've reached the end of our agenda, so we're going to adjourn and thank everyone for their participation in today's meeting.